Hi Cancer, welcome to your general messages for January 11th through the 17th. We're going to start out with relationship, then we're going to go to money/career. I'm going to pull two spreads for relationship, one for you, one for the person that you're dealing with, and then a separate one for career. I'm going to timestamp career/money. It's not only going to be about career, but any kind of money related issue in the description box below. So you just check down there if you don't want to hang out for the relationship section of the reading. Okay, but let's get right into things. I hope you guys are doing great today. So just to start off the relationship part, kids, you have a lot going on this particular week, particularly in your seventh house. So there's going to be this trine of the Uranus and Mars conjunction to Pluto conjunct the Sun in Capricorn. And that's going to put a focus on something within that seventh house that needs to be ended or transformed. Now, Venus is going to be nicely aspected here to support the change, but there's definitely going to be this release of something. Now, the new moon in Capricorn on January 12th, 13th, depends on where you live. That can incite new beginnings in many areas, right? For everybody, it could indicate for career, discipline, new plans on a personal level. We're all going to be feeling this in regards to something having to do with anything that we have to put work into. So it's not necessarily career. It could, and because this is happening in your seventh house is the house of marriage. Capricorn represents the institution of marriage. So I know not all of you are married, but for those of you who are either married or in some sort of situation where you have this legal connection to somebody, it's also going to go the same if you have a business partner as well. There's going to be this change, but it's this idea of partnerships that I thought I should add in, having to do with what's going to be going on this week. You're definitely going to be feeling a shift when it comes to partnerships, either the release of something, the changing of something. Okay, so let's pull a crowning energy for you first. Okay, well, Cancer. Okay, so we have sadness to start. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. We're going to pull some good tarot to give 4 crowning energies, one having to do with the past, present, where you're at right now, the challenge, and a final outcome energy. Okay, let's see what we have. Justice. 7 of water. Call. Patience. Okay. It's the first time I got called today. Patience. Patience is the outcome. Starting with justice. Okay, so let's pull some Light Seer Tarot. See where we're at. Page of Pentacles. Wow, okay. All right, let me pull all the cards and okay. So we have the justice energy. You know, justice is that 7th house energy. It's exactly what I'm talking about here. It's Libra, right? And Libra is the landlord of the 7th house of partnerships, ruled by Venus. So when we say justice, it's like, is everything equitable within the relationship? Because Venus has to do with not only love, but money and connection, right? And also, how do you feel in the relationship? Because it has to do with our sense of self-value and self-worth. And are all of those, you know, were all of those things in play? And this being something that, to have the justice energy tells me that the truth came out about something in the recent past regarding something having to do with relationships. So something was brought to the forefront. Now we have this Page of Pentacles. So page always means that there's a new cycle. Right? And this is about mental, physical, emotional connection when we're dealing. It can mean money, but it's also mental, physical, emotional connection. We're talking about relationships, right? So we have this new cycle. So this new cycle in relationship, and, you know, by all accounts, it was good. I mean, the Queen of Cups is a nurturing energy. There's communication about, what you need to feel safe and secure in something. It's, again, it's Gemini and you. It's Gemini and Cancer. It's communication. What are you guys about? You guys are about home, roots, family, feeling grounded, feeling safe, secure, all of that. Having that conversation, right? Having that conversation, but it not being easy, okay? Because we have the world energy here, and the world is a Saturn energy. Saturn is about time put into something. It's chronos, it's time, it's karma, it's restriction, it's delay, it's feeling held back from being able to move forward in the way that ultimately you would have liked to in the relationship. Now, keeping it real, it could have been conversations as well, having to do with something to do with their family, something having to do with something that was going on with their family that you were wondering how safe it is, how that was playing a role in the relationship, right? Because the Queen of Cups has to do with Gemini, conversation, communication, and Cancer, and you guys are about home, and it also represents mother and father, right? Mother primarily, but I always throw father in there as the modern interpretation. The older interpretation is that father is the fifth house, but I think they both hang out in the fourth. So it could be that, right? But the bottom line here is what happened? Lesson learned. The world is the completion of something. So there was some sort of completion of something wrote its course. Not an easy energy to get to, but once you get there and you learn that lesson, that's where Saturn gives the gift. So whatever lesson was learned here in this connection was a good one. Now, right now, you're the Seven of Water. So the Seven of Water is now you have many choices. Right now, you may be struggling with a commitment issue. Right? I mean, this is something that is right now what you're dealing with, either within yourself or with somebody that you're dealing with. So it's this idea of possibly, because again, this is the completion of something. The world is the completion of something. So if there was a completion of the relationship or the completion of a particular painful cycle within the relationship, you can be in this space right now where it's like, I don't know if I could give myself 100% right now because of the pain or the disappointment that I just went through here. But there is this idea of choices. I do like that there's judgment here. I have to tell you, I'm getting a healthy vibe here because this is about clarity and a final decision and a wake-up call to where you're supposed to be. So while you may be struggling with commitment issues initially right now, feeling like there are, should I do this, should I do that, and not, really not feeling very grounded in the idea of commitment right now. Judgment is about having clarity in that area again, and there being this final decision and this wake-up call again, and going back to that new moon in Capricorn that's going to be happening. You guys are going to be feeling it in your relationship sector. So we have this Two of Cups energy, really beautiful romantic love, partnership, but more than anything, it's about proposal, right? And the proposal means the offering of something. Like, do you want to go out? Do you want to work this out? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have a baby? Do you want to move in together? We have different ages and different stages of Cancers out there, right? This is a general reading, but it's a proposal of something that's going to be coming in. And we have this Page of Wands. This is, wands are will, but it's also passion. It could definitely indicate meeting somebody brand new. This could indicate meeting somebody brand new. Now, because Page can also incite a new cycle, again, depending on where you're at on your path, there could definitely be this proposal of starting this brand new path. Everybody forgives everybody. And ends up being very solid communication, and it ends up kind of getting back on track that way. Others of you are not going to have that experience. Others of you are going to be in the space where you have allowed the end because you've learned your lesson. And now you're opening yourself up to other people. And what I like about the Judgment energy is it's Pluto, right? Pluto's all about transformation. So it's like there's a wake-up call that you need to transform something. You need to move on from something. It's time to move on. And then the Two of Cups does indicate a proposal coming in and this new attraction. So that is what I see for you guys right now, like a new energy coming in. But yet it's like this world, even though the world is probably the most positive card in the deck. I mean, the world and the sun both are, as they always say, for different reasons. But the world is like, oh, you've made it through the storm. Now here's a gift, right? But just because you made it through something and something has been completed and learned doesn't mean that it's easy. And that's what I'm feeling like. I feel like there's sadness having to do with this here. Now let's see what your challenge and your block is. Well, we have the call. So in the good tarot, the call energy is about you being called literally by your intuition, by spirit, by that echoing in your soul that it's time to do something, and it's time to release something, it's time to move on from something, it's time to heal something. And it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to do that sometimes, right? So that's, that's the challenge. But I like that we have clarifying it as the Chariot is, you getting on that chariot and you getting away from the toxicity, you inciting action and change for yourself, right? You try, you have to do that. It's difficult for you. You're having a hard time moving away from something. A hard time. But I see somebody else coming in here, but you still, I feel like whatever completed here, you're still hung on to it. But I do see there's some sort of new energy that's available to you. But you're having a hard time releasing that toxicity. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Remember, the Queen of Pentacles connects whatever element it's in. And when it's Pentacles in a relationship, read its mental, physical, emotional connection. So you're having a very hard time feeling connected with anyone and anything right now. You just are. You're having a hard time moving forward with the King of Cups. You're having a hard time understanding. You're having a hard time tolerating a certain mindset. You're having a hard time being empathetic about something that somebody did. Because at the end of the day, you just know your pain. But there's a new energy here. Final outcome. Patience. Beautiful card. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I like. This is what we're talking about here. The Emperor. We love the Emperor energy in relationship reads because this is somebody who is very faithful, who knows what to do in relationship. They might not have all the answers, but they are very willing to try. They're very, very willing to try. The only thing with the Emperor energy is they could be a little stubborn, because it's Aries, and Aries is the youngin of the zodiac. So, they have a hard time seeing other people's perspectives sometimes. That's just a little something to throw out there. Beautiful energy nonetheless. Let's not look for the bad at all, because this is really, really good when it comes to relationship. So it often does indicate meeting somebody new who is very sort of true blue, who understands planning and is very excited about the relationship, right? Because it's a fire energy. It's fire energy. It's Mars too. Fresh path, new perspective. This is new. This is new. And this is successful. Six of Wands is getting a positive message in. It's getting a phone call, text message, email, something like that. And whatever ends up resulting from that ends up being a really good thing for you. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful. This is all about building. So I always call this the architect card. Right? It's beautiful. It's teamwork, collaboration. You guys getting in something together and working at something together. So, Cancer, I have to tell you, I see you being sad, but then this new energy coming in, you having still a hard time letting this energy, I'm not even going to say go, because it's so silly that we say that, isn't it? Let them go. What does that even mean? It's impossible. It's sort of like when we're in a relationship, it's like layers of stuff on our soul, right? You can't let that go. It's sticky. It's glued to us. We have to, over time, it sloughs off of us and releases and releases. A week turns into a month. A month turns into 2 months, 4 months, 5. You know what I mean? And that's why time does heal things, because these things need to slough off of us. This whole idea of letting something go, like we should just not do that to ourselves, because it's actually like abusive to ourselves, to our own psyche, because it's just simply like not possible according to the human condition. It's not. I know a lot of times, we think we do that, and then it ends up rearing its head in other ways, right? At the end of the day, different ways. So let's pull for them. Let's see what's going on with them. Move these over here. I'm not feeling that one. Not feeling that one. Let's see what they're going through. What are they feeling regarding this relationship? Help from above. Help from above. So they could be perhaps having some sort of spiritual crisis. They may be in a situation where they're questioning their sense of self, seeing their way through something. Ace of Earth. Okay. You guys may have met at work or school. We have in the past. When it comes to relationship, Ace of Earth is Ace of Pentacles. So it's, it's a new job, a new raise, promotion, investment, new income, a new course of study. So you could have met them, depending on how old you are. Maybe you met them at school or something of that nature. So we have the Moon. Okay. That's interesting, because it's like them, and then the first card is the Moon, and the Moon is your ruler. It's Cancer. Okay. So you guys met, and the Moon could just be you, right? But the Moon is also, what they were feeling very inside. The Moon is also rules their mother, their father, like, so if their family was involved in any way. So also has to do with the stories that they tell themselves regarding their past relationship, their past lives. So, if that was somehow ended up, interplaying into your connection here. We have the Knight of Coins. Nine of Coins is very nice. I mean, they were very focused on financial gains for themselves, trying to set themselves up in life in whatever way. So working really hard in their job, trying to gain, again, maybe saving money, focusing on their major if they were in school, doing anything like that. That would end up, ultimately growing their life, right? Because it has to do with the coin, right? It's trying to connect in that way. But ultimately, we have the Eight of Swords, so, right? So the Eight of Swords is about feeling this sense of isolation, this sense of imprisonment, wondering if they belong in something anymore, feeling very, something that felt right, very right at one time, suddenly not feeling right anymore. Cancer. So, whether it was a change of heart or whether the family had something to do with it, is going to be different for each of you. But right now, they're the Three of Earth. So the Three of Earth they're very focused on trying to build their life right now, right? I mean, they're very focused on teamwork, collaboration, building themselves, right? This is the architect energy. Where are they going? Where are they going? And so right now they're very focused on, when it comes to relationship, who can they do that with, right? So, and then we have this another three, and the Three of Cups is being very surrounded by a circle of support right now, friendship. It is a celebratory vibe, but it's just like being very, very supportive right now. Being very supportive. Very supported by somebody. So either Now, Three of Earth, again, can have to do with teamwork, collaboration. Three of Cups, celebratory vibe. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's another energy in here, but yeah. And then we have the Magician. So the Magician is a Mercury energy, and this is about focused creativity and really trying to turn their vision into reality. And when we're dealing with Mercury, it's Gemini and Virgo, right? So Gemini is all about communicating and needing to learn something new. Virgo is about really focus. They may be doing some hardcore work on themselves right now, you know, on their mental, their physical, their emotional health. Needing to look at things differently, right? Because Mercury does rule the Virgo, which is the sixth house of our health, mental, physical, and emotional, as well as Gemini, which is the student and learning approaches to things, right? So they can be in a space where they're in a space of getting a lot of support right now with help from above. I do feel like this person that you were dealing with, Cancer, they may be in a space of really needing to heal from something. We have this working with the Hierophant energy. So this can show up in a couple of ways. I mean, the Hierophant energy does have to do with marriage. So they may be in the space where they're really trying to work on themselves for the sake of a marriage. But this could also have to do with, you know, expectations and conventions and traditions and conformity. So, you know, they may be in this space, though, of, first of all, either figuring out what it is that they even want in that way. What does that even mean to them? What do they expect? What do they want out of like that level relationship? What are they looking for? How can they make that happen? This is what they're trying to figure out. I tell you what, I feel like they're a little lost in space right now. Not in life, but and I feel like this is deep within them. This is something that's very deep within them that needs addressing. We have the Three of Air as their first challenge. So they're heartbroken. I mean, they are. I feel like this is about heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression. So even if they were the ones that ended it, I do get that they're feeling very depressed about it. It's a card of pain. Now, the Three of Swords could also be a third-party situation, but this is their challenge. So, but I don't get that. But it could be. They let a third party in, you let a third party in. It could be that. It doesn't have to be. When I say the card of pain, think of all the ways we can hurt each other, but they're feeling that. Now, this is working with the Four of Coins. They're in a mode of self-protection, right? But this is a block for them. And the Four of Coins, you know what, too? This is a greed energy as well. A desire for long-term security. So, Cancer, you might have been dealing with somebody who is like very, very sort of obsessed about like money, security. And this is actually like a real challenge for them within this relationship. Maybe they're questioning how secure or the financial aspects, right, having to do with your union. That could definitely be it. But for others of you, definitely a long-term security, right? Because it's their fear, it's their block. And that can be many things. Even if there's a ton of money, maybe it's how they feel connected to you, in the long run. And then we have the Hangwoman as the challenge. Very confused. They're very confused right now. Right? They're trying to get a different perspective. They're in this space, though. Part of the challenge is them feeling like, in a way, where they feel like they needed to sacrifice something about themselves for this relationship. Doesn't mean it's real. Doesn't mean this is a subjective read, right? This is their energy. It doesn't make it truth. And then we have the Princess of Cups. Princess of Cups is about, challenge, but this is one of the challenges here, is about meeting somebody new. So they're definitely confused, and their challenge is really, in essence here, is dealing with the pain, trying to navigate this feeling of long-term security and being able to open themselves up to somebody new at the same time. But I almost feel like they're their own worst enemy, unless, going back to this, unless it's like stress from the family, which could certainly be. a situation, depending on what culture you come from and all of that. Sure, absolutely. That is some real stuff that goes on. But I feel like they didn't really want this ultimately to happen. A very worried energy. They worry about everything. They worry about everything. Look at this, temptation. It's the final outcome. And then clarifying that, we have the Seven of Coins. Seven of Coins, very interesting, because this is a very patient energy. This is hard work. This is delayed success. This is waiting. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And we have this with the Six of Coins, giving and receiving, having each other's back. There's generosity. Oh, I don't know if I like this final outcome energy. You know, because it's kind of duplicitous. We have the Seven of Swords. This is about betrayal and dishonesty and running away. And running away from something. This is a Moon in Aquarius energy, you know. It's emotions. Aquarius was the future. It's also, Aquarius is also about doing things out of the box. So it's the emotion to do something different. It's the it's feeling the emotion of being concerned about the future. And what is the response to that is some dishonesty. It's running away. It's a betrayal energy. It's a betrayal energy. The temptation and the temptation card means being tempted by something in the 3D. That's what this means. Being tempted by something in the 3D. This literally has to do with being over-concerned, overly influenced in the moment, having to do with money, having to do with physical anything, whether it's attraction, the physicality of the intimacy, something like that. It has nothing to do with a soul connection, none of that. It has to do with something physical. I feel like this person is very, very confused between the connection that you guys have and what they think they might want or need in the 3D. I feel like they don't know what they really want, and I feel like there might be some sort of influence coming at them from a different area. And in my mind, it does seem like they're very focused on the wrong things, Cancer. And I know you might not like this. Normally I don't put my 2 cents in here, but it does seem like this person is not focused on the right things for you. And if somebody doesn't have their priorities in the right order, ultimately you're going to be the one on the receiving end of that hot mess. This person does need help from above, because it looks like they're having some sort of crisis within their soul, and they're focused too much on things that don't matter. And that is what I see right now for the person that you're dealing with, my friends. Okay, so that's what we have for that. Let's go on to career, money. Career, money, whatever I come out with, right? It's not only, we don't only get money from our career, right? We get money from our partners, we get money from insurance payouts, any kind of investment. We need money to buy a home, buy a business, this has to do with money through the stock market, divorce settlement, alimony. I say everything. Anything we could have to do with money. Discover your life purpose. Okay, Cancer. That's not big at all. I feel like it's like no pressure. What do you want to do? What are you doing with your life, Cancer? Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull a Wisdom of the Oracles clarifier. I haven't been doing that for other people, but I just feel like that's so like, what does that even mean? I mean, obviously we know what it means, but milk and honey. What makes you feel at home? What makes you feel at home? What makes you feel comfortable? What makes you feel like you're really doing the right thing? Wow. Okay. Let's see what we have going on here for our Cancer friends. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, good. With the Strength card. The Strength card is a Leo. It's about creativity. Yay. I mean, yeah. Love it. Entrepreneurial energy as well, my friends. It's 5th house. Very good. Now, there are going to be some tensions that are happening, having to do with, let me be very clear about this, right? Especially for Cancer risings. First of all, just understand, you're not really going to have great clarity in where you see yourself going and how you're moving forward right now, because your belief system is going through some change, and because you know, you have that 9th house hanging out with Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is trying, and that's your belief system, your moral code, your moral compass, right? Some of you still in school, you might be really unclear, like, do you really even want to study what you're studying, right? Because that's Neptune. It's trying to look at reality through a thick fog. So your belief system's changing, right? But with that 8th house energy, and 8th house has to do with other people's money that you get from them. So it's going to have to do with your partner's money, your parents' money, insurance payout, divorce settlement, alimony, any sort of investment, anything like that. Now, you're going to have some heavy energies in there right now, right? You just are, because we have this crazy square, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and Aquarius, and the way the energy is working out is it's going to be pushing us to problem solve and figure out a situation, but it's going to be there's going to be this mix that's going to be going on at this during this week is going to create feelings of aggression and defensiveness. So you're going to have confusion with that. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying, like, if you're confused right now and you can't see things clearly, don't worry about it. It's okay. Especially for those of you who are in business partnerships, right? Just because we do, there's also, at the same time with all that confusion, there is also going to be a trine of Uranus and Mars conjunct to Pluto conjunct and the Sun in Capricorn. And that's going to put a focus on what needs to be ended or transformed in your 7th house. We're also having a new moon in Capricorn in there on the 12th and to the 13th. And that's going to incite new beginnings in career, discipline, new plans, right? And just this gumption within that 7th house energy. So 7th house has to do with anything legal. So we always say it's the house of marriage because it's a legal commitment, but so is having a business partnership or any sort of partnership like that as well. So anything legal, that would also include anything legal, lawsuits, anything like that, right? So, you know, there's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be a lot of movement here. A lot of things. So you might have to change your approach to something. But let's look at this. We have the 9 of Pentacles coming into this. Really nice. You focusing on some sort of financial gain for yourself. Focusing on what you need to do to bring that to yourself. Being very self-sufficient. And we have this working with the Sun. And the Sun is about material happiness. A really beautiful outcome. Being in the right place. And just being feeling like you have everything that you need. Like you're on a good path, right? Feeling like this in the past. Temperance energy does indicate really nice, like a give and take energy. There's cooperation, there's balance, harmony. This is Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity. So integrity is very important to you. You might have been doing something having to do with anything having to do with pushing forward some sort of agenda for the greater good of society. So any sort of like religion, self-help kind of thing, any of those Sagittarius energies for the betterment of a community, being like an advocate of any kind, could certainly be even your own advocate. And then the 3 of Pentacles. I mean, we have really good energies in this recent past here. Absolutely. I mean, it's about teamwork, collaboration, focusing on your skill, focusing on the quality of your skill, becoming better at whatever it is you're doing. So very beautifully focused here. But let's see where you're at right now. Is you're in this space right now, Cancer, of really wanting to get in touch with what you really want to do. I mean that's the strength energy. And it's about self-love and self-respect and being brave. And it is the energy of creativity, of the entrepreneurial spirit, of loving what you do. Loving what you do, right? So that's driving the energy right now. But you're not really that happy. It seems like, well, some of you, first of all, may be experiencing some financial loss here, or you, at least the poverty mindset, you're very worried. So you might know in your mind's eye what it is that you really want to do. Because it's like, this is the kind of energy where it's like, you wake up one day and you're like, I want to be an artist on the beach in Fiji. I want to go to Fiji and I want to be an artist on the beach. Or, you know, I want to run off to England and just write poetry on the mountainside kind of thing. That's really what I want. But you're not going to be able to do that, right? For some of you is where there's going to be this confliction between what it is that you really want, where, you know, in your deepest heart to do, what you feel the most creative in, the desire actually to, because fifth house energy is also our hobbies and things that we love to do because we love to do them. But your desire to actually take that and then turn that into something ish, kind of like where you love what you're doing in that same way, but you're concerned about money. Then we have Page of Pentacles, which, come on now, this is fabulous. Page of Pentacles is patience, but this is also a new job, a raise, money news coming in, meeting somebody new that's going to incite change in the area of your career. And then we have the World, which is, the World is about a lesson being completed. This is all about completion. This is all about completion. So the way I'm understanding this is, you're in something, you're working towards something. So I feel like you're going to be transitioning into something else, Cancer. It does seem like that. Because the World is Saturn. Saturn is age, it's Chronos, it's time, it's a lot of no's. It's putting in the hard work, it's doing all of that, and then reaching the end goal and completing it. And now you get your lesson. Not your lesson, your gift rather. So to have that after the page, this tells me, and it's bookending with the Strength card, that you're very getting your, in your mind's eye, very clear on what it is you want to do. You're working towards that. Some of you may be actively in something that you feel like you're working towards. But you're realizing that you really want to do something that speaks to your integrity more, that makes you feel more in alignment with yourself. So I feel like whatever path you've been on, it's a lesson learned. It's the completion of learning a lesson. So now you know. But we have the Knight of Wands as the challenge. You may not be really clear on how to actually make this happen. You know, because the Knight is a messenger. It's making things happen. This is very free-spirited, very creative. This is an ideas person. Let's go, let's go. That's your challenge right now. You may not be able to feel like you're able to make that happen for you right now. And for some of you, it's because you're very concerned about your stability and your foundation, right? Because that's what this is about. You know, 4 is always representative of that, right? It's a homecoming energy. It's family, it's friends, it's feeling grounded, rooted, right? And then we have, as another challenge, the Queen of Wands. You know, the Queen of Wands, again, your challenge here is feeling super confident and self-assured that you could do it. That could definitely be it here. And then we have this working with the challenge of the 5 of Swords. Now, the 5 of Swords is an interesting energy. You know, it's a Venus and Aquarius energy. So it's like, what am I really going to love Venus doing in the future? Aquarius, right? And really being in this state of confliction with yourself. But it's like a battle here. Now, some of you may be actually battling with a significant other or a family member or somebody in your life. This could even be arguing with a business partner of some sort. It could be literally, the Five of Swords can literally be an argument. But nobody's winning here, in the Five of Swords. Nobody's winning. The louder you yell, the louder they yell. Nobody's hearing anybody any louder. I mean, the advice here is to just gracefully walk away for a minute to get some perspective. So even if you're fighting with yourself, try to just, if you can right now, try to focus on something that you can control and grow in, something that makes you feel good, just for the short term, because the solution to this is going to come to you, but you need to just be patient with it. You need to let a little bit of time go. And this is the crazy thing about this week, the 11th through the 17th. Out of the 7 days, 3 of the days, we're going to have a moon void, of course. And for those of you who don't know what that means, in a nutshell, it basically means that nothing's really going to be happening with the moon. And the moon rules our emotions, right? So there's no real moving forward, moving back. It's just kind of like as it is. So we should all just kind of continue doing what we're doing, right? And the reason the moon goes void, of course, every single week. But what's weird about this week is we have it happening. You guys are going to be feeling it from Sunday into Monday, but then Wednesday into Friday. Usually it doesn't last it's like 2.5 days where it's going to be moon void, of course. That's kind of long. I like to call moon void, of course, bubble bath energy. It's a great time to take a bubble bath, to meditate, to focus on doing something that you've been doing. Not a great time to do anything new or to try to implement any sort of new idea. So, kind of get your ducks in a row sort of energy. And not because you can't do anything, it's just everything's going to just be a lot more difficult to get done. That's it, because you're just not going to feel as emotionally into anything. That's the thing for half of this week. But let's look at the outcome. The Chariot. I love it. Get on that chariot and get out of Dodge, right? Getting away from anything that doesn't resonate with you anymore. Whatever's not resonating. So this could, this is resonating very heavily more than anything with career, I do have to say. Some of you are also going to have resolution having to do with a lawsuit. It's going to make you feel sad, but there is this new offer coming in, and it's going to be the completion of something, which is going to be quite nice as well. I didn't say comfortable, but I said ultimately quite nice, because you're going to be moving away from that, what is no longer serving you. The Chariot energy is all about getting away from toxicity. And we have the Devil energy here working. The Devil energy is anything that's imbalanced, that's shackling you to this situation. Whether it's a job, whether it's a lawsuit, whatever it is, right? It's really looking at that, right? So this could be dealing with any sort of obviously, if you're getting divorced, this would be moving away from the negativity there. Addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexual lust, get away from me kind of thing, right? And just going it alone for a little bit and figuring out what that all even means. But the Hermit, the thing with the Hermit is, it's a problem-solving energy. You're going within for clarity. It's a Virgo energy, and Virgo it rules the 6th house, which is the house where it's problems. So this is where we solve our problems, right? And the Hermit energy is thinking to solve our problems, right? Complete and painful ending, right? Complete and painful ending, hitting the rock bottom of a situation. It's going alone. So some of you, some of you are going to be deciding to open up your own business. Some of you are going to be deciding to quit your job, right? Because you just cannot stay it in anymore. Some of you are going to be in this space of, obviously, it's the culmination of lawsuits. It's the culmination of, it could be absolutely like the selling of a property, the selling off of something. Okay? But I have to tell you that what I'm seeing here it's like the solution to something is the end of something. Does that make sense? Like, in order for this next door to open with any ease, you need to get out of whatever it is that you're doing now. Now, you may not be able to do that so easily, right? I mean, so particularly, that's why I mentioned this week, there's going to be a lot of heightened energy this week, but yet we have this moon void, of course, for half the week. So don't be frustrated if you're going to have this very strong gumption to be like, that's it, I want to do da-da-da-da-da, and you feel like you're walking through cement, like you can't get there. Don't worry about it. It's just the energies. It's going to pass. That's just what's going to be happening this week. But let's focus on the positive takeaway from this. Something really positive is coming out of all of this, and it's going to speak to something that you really want to bring to yourself. So discover your life purpose in Milk and Honey. That's all about doing something that speaks to your soul, that at the end of the day is the right thing for you. So whether it's that new career, that divorce, selling off that investment, whatever it is, it's going to be speaking to you ultimately. And I like it. It looks good, Cancer. It doesn't look, it's not an easy week for anybody, but it's going to be a productive week overall. It really will be. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.